All right. Hello, good morning. Welcome back to Stretch and Flow. I'm Katie. You won't need anything for class today unless you want a mat or a beach towel. If you don't love getting on and off the floor, you might want to grab a chair for some of our movements and stretches today, especially if in that plank position or chaturangas or anything like that. You can always take your hands to the base of a chair rather than heading to the floor, or really just finding whatever works for you today. So go ahead when you're ready. I want you to make your way to the back of your space, and we're going to get warmed up here. So feet are going to be about hip width apart. Not a big deal for right now if they're a little wider, a little more narrow. We'll soften the knees, bring that awareness into the core, kind of drawing the belly button in, creating a little bit of tightness, but not so tight that you can't breathe deeply. We'll roll the shoulders up, back, and down just a couple times. I'm going to shake off the day a bit. And then one more time, up, back, hold them down, rotate the palms forward. Let's go ahead and close the eyes. Quickly, gently connecting to the breath, deep inhales, long exhales. So trying your best to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. You'll notice that I'll give you cues on when to breathe in, when to breathe out. Don't get too wrapped up in that, especially if you're just starting out. The most important thing is that you're breathing and that you're breathing intentionally. So if it's hard for you to breathe in when I say breathe in, things like that, again, just make sure you're breathing. Let's take another breath in and out together. Take a quick body scan. Notice how you feel from head to toe. Notice any areas that might be bothering you, any pain or strain that you might be feeling, or anything that maybe just feels different. Quick reminder to give that area some extra love if and when you need it. Go ahead, wiggle your fingers, flutter those eyes open. Take a deep inhale with me. As you do so, reach those arms up to the ceiling. And exhale, just lower them right back down. Okay, keep that awareness in your core. Let's do that again. Inhale, float the arms up. Look up between those hands. Exhale, lower it down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, a little bit more power behind it. Sweep those arms up. Exhale, let that go. Hands float right back down to your mountain pose. Soften the knees. Tuck your chin for me. Right away, feel that little stretch in the back of your neck. And like you're leading with the top of your head, keep your knees soft, and we're going to roll all the way down toward the floor, articulating each and every vertebrae. Good. Feel that low back wake up. And just hang here for a moment. Feel gravity pulling you down from the crown of your head. Relax your shoulders. You can shake out the arms, shake out your head. Perfect. Let's bend those knees, round the back. We're going to roll it right back up. Again, try to think of unlocking each vertebrae one at a time. Good. Tucking your chin before you lift that head up last. Good. Deep inhale. We're going to do that again. Exhale. Tuck that chin and feel that stretch move all the way down your back as we lower down. Good. When you find that low point, just hold it. Doesn't matter how low you are. Again, as long as you're feeling that stretch, you feel that maybe a little bit of discomfort, you're doing great. Hold it there. Make sure you're breathing. Don't get wrapped up in how far you're reaching. If your hands are flat on the floor, that's awesome. If your hands are a foot away from the floor, that is also awesome. Good. Go ahead. Soften the knees. Round that back. Carefully roll it up. Good. Remember, your head comes up very last. Good. And we'll do that one more time. Tuck the chin. Round that back. Slowly roll all the way down. And find that low point. It's probably a little bit lower than on the first one. This time, I want you to reach for opposite elbows or biceps, coming into ragdoll. Tuck your chin a bit, and let's just take a little sway side to side. So sweeping those arms from right to left, you should feel that stretch kind of moving around your low back from one side to the other. You'll feel those hamstrings lengthening. Good, weight shifting from your right to your left foot. Perfect. Find your way back to the center. Your weight is even between those 2 feet. Go ahead, release the arms. Bend those knees carefully, roll it back up. Good, head comes up last, shoulders roll up, back and down, open up that chest. And let's take that inhale, sweep the arms up for me. From here, I want you to take your right arm, reach it up and over toward the left side of the room. Good, now scoop that left arm under. Good, and we're reaching through all those fingertips. Perfect. Awareness in your core, soft knees, reach a little bit deeper, inhale. As you exhale, we're just gonna switch that. Left arm scoops up and over, right arm reaching down. Good. Stacking the shoulders, opening up the chest, reaching through all those fingers. Good, feel that side opening up, inhale. Exhale, switch it again, right arm up and over. Left arm down and over. Good, rotate that top shoulder back. So I just don't want you collapsing here or covering up your face with that bicep. Try to open it up and notice how that side and hip opens a little bit more. Last time, let's inhale. Exhale, scoop it up and over. Left arm sweeps high, right arm sweeps low. Stack those shoulders. Good, reach. Energy out of those fingers. We inhale. Exhale, carefully release. Inhale, both arms up. This time we exhale, swan dive to the floor, leading with your chest. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders. We're in that forward fold again. Good. From here, gently, I want you to shift your weight forward and back. So try to tuck your chin so that the crown of your head is pointed straight down to the floor. And again, it does not matter right now how low you are to the ground. Wherever you are, you're getting closer. You're growing, you're getting deeper, longer. So we're shifting the weight forward and back from the heels to the balls of the feet. And now here, just notice how that stretch changes and moves down the backs of your legs. Maybe a little bit in that low back too. Perfect. I want you to bend your knees as much as you need to so you can plant your hands on the floor. Again, if you want or need a chair, this is also a good time to place your hands on the seat of that chair. So knees are bent as much as you want or need. So we're gonna plant that right hand on the floor. From here, open up your chest, lift that left arm up. If you can extend those legs a little bit more, cool. If you want or need to come up onto the fingertips, that's totally fine as well. We're just getting into a nice little twist here. Stacking the shoulders, reaching through those fingertips, breathing deeply. Good, and release. From here, we're just gonna swap that out. So again, bend the knees as much as you need to. Plant that hand on the floor and we'll reach the right arm up and twist. Good, trying your best to stack the shoulders to open up the chest. If the range of motion isn't quite there in your chest and shoulders, just go as far as you can. Good, bending those knees as much as you need to, maybe starting to straighten them out a tiny bit more. We inhale, exhale, lower that hand down to the floor. Relax head, neck, and shoulders. Now I want you to kind of pedal out your knees. So we'll just bend one knee at a time, lengthening out the hamstrings. Again, your hands don't need to be on the floor for this. So we're kind of rocking side to side, bending one knee, straightening the other, relaxing your head. Perfect. Let's try our best to straighten those legs without locking out the joint. So without squeezing on that kneecap. Just keep a little softness in the knee. We inhale. Now as we exhale, we're gonna bend those knees again, but this time I want you to walk your hands out into a high plank position. So kind of like you're about to do a push-up, but we're gonna keep the hands right underneath the shoulders. Legs are extended back behind us with the core in nice and strong. From here, let's take a deep inhale together. As we exhale, go ahead, lower your knees down to the floor. You're gonna lower them out wide. Drawing your big toes together, sink your hips back into a child's pose. Reach, crawl those hands forward as far as you can. Sink your hips back toward your heels. We'll just take a couple breaths here, driving the palms down into the floor. Relaxing the forehead on the ground if you'd like. Deep inhale. As you exhale, pull those hands in just below your shoulders, and we're going to press up into a tabletop position. So from here, your hands are right underneath your shoulders, and your knees are right underneath your hips. Back is nice and flat, so if you're kind of sinking into your back, try to think of rotating or pressing your pelvis forward a little bit to flatten everything out. From here, we're going to get into your chest and shoulders a little bit more. Let's go ahead, inhale. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling for me. So we're taking that twist again, just like when we were in our forward fold, but we can probably reach a little higher now. And as you exhale, we'll thread the needle. So take that right hand, thread it behind your left wrist, draw the right shoulder toward the floor. Good, and we're gonna hold here. Left arm can extend straight out. If you want a little bit more, you can reach that arm straight up. Or left hand that can go up and over for a bind. So you'll reach toward that opposite hip crease. Good. Again, just make sure you're breathing. Good. Twists are really good for our internal organs, kind of like a little stretchy detox for them. But again, you have to make sure you're breathing. Carefully release that. Your left hand will make its way under the left shoulder. And then I want you to press into that hand to come back up to your tabletop. From here, we'll just switch sides. So inhale, that left arm sweeps up high, stacking the shoulders, opening the chest. And we'll exhale, thread that needle. So left shoulder is drawing toward the floor. Right arm will reach straight out, straight up, or up and over toward that opposite hip. Good, breathe into that twist. You're reaching through those left fingertips. Trying to get that shoulder closer to the floor. Good, quick check-in with yourself. How are you feeling? Breathe in. As you breathe out, right hand makes its way under that right shoulder. We press back up into our tabletop. Take a quick little cat and cow here. So again, start with that neutral spine, that nice flat back. We're looking straight down at the floor to start. As you inhale, I want you to lift your tailbone up so you can take a little arch in your back. And we're gonna look up to the ceiling for our cow. And then as we exhale into cat, round your back, tuck your chin, separate those shoulder blades. Perfect, take that again. Inhale, cow, arch the back, look up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin. Perfect. Think of pressing the floor away from you here. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, round and tuck that chin. One more time, please. Good, a little bit more awareness in those shoulders. Good. And let's head back to that neutral spine. From here, you can sweep those hips side to side. Maybe take a little like C curve, just kind of whatever your hips and spine need from here. Perfect. Back to that tabletop position. From here, if you need to give your wrists a break at any time, come up onto your fists or your knuckles. That'll kind of force your wrists to stay in line, and it gives them a little bit of a break. So pressing into the floor, dropping the shoulder blades down your back. I want you to inhale. As you exhale, drop your right ear over toward your right shoulder and really think of pressing that left shoulder toward the back of the room. Good, you can close your eyes here just for a nice neck stretch. Perfect, we inhale. Exhale, go ahead, switch sides. So left ear, left shoulder, right side pressing down, down, down toward the back of the room. Good, feel that side of your neck, tip top of your shoulder open up. Good, and come back to the center. From here, hands are flat on the floor. We're gonna curl those toes under. Inhale. Exhale, shoot your hips up and back, straighten out those legs into your first down dog of the day. We'll pedal out the heels now. So we're driving one heel down toward the floor, bending the opposite knee, waking up those calf muscles. Good. In your downward dog, your heels don't ever have to touch the floor. I feel like that's such a huge, stressful misconception. Some people have very, very, very short, tight calf muscles and Achilles tendons. And it can be very challenging for those heels to get down to the floor. Some people can just naturally do it. Some people it takes years and years and years. It just kind of depends. So don't get too wrapped up in it. As long as you're driving those heels down and you feel that stretch, you are good to go. Let's press both heels down here. Bend your knees for me. Tiptoe your feet up to your hands. Inhale, half lift. So hands are going to come to the tops of your shins or thighs. We find that flat back position again. Exhale, release. Relax the head and neck, soft knees. Inhale, roll up. And we're going to take just a couple sun salutations to build some heat, and then we'll finish with some static stretches. So come with me. Let's inhale, reach those arms up high, tiny arch in the back. Exhale, forward fold. Right back down to the floor. From here, inhale, half lift. Flatten the back. Think of lifting through the tailbone. Exhale, release. Knees bend, hands find the floor. Step it back into that high plank position. So from here, if you want to modify your Chaturanga, lower your knees down to the floor, and then we'll lower down everything together. Hug the elbows in toward your rib cage. Inhale, sweep through cobra. So again here, if this doesn't work well for your back, soften the elbows. You can even come all the way down to your elbows. Inhale, press those shoulders away. Exhale, toes curl under, up and back, down dog, pedal it out. We'll do that one more time, a little bit quicker. If that Chaturanga isn't for you, so kind of lowering down through kind of like the first half of that tricep push-up, if that just doesn't work, I want you just to head into downward dog, and I'll meet you there. Good, heels down, soft knees, step or hop feet to hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, carefully roll it up. Shoulders up, down, and back. One more sun salutation, so I'll face you guys on this one. Let's inhale, reach those arms up together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flatten out. And release. Soft knees, step or hop it back into that plank, knees or toes. We Chaturanga high to low. Hug the elbows in. Inhale, sweep through that cobra. And exhale, find that down dog, pedal it out. Good job, guys. Good, settle in. That tailbone pointing up toward the ceiling, pressing evenly into those hands. Go ahead, spread out your fingers for me. Really drive those palms down into the floor. From here, inhale, we're gonna kick up that right leg. Square off that right hip, so think of rotating it forward. Now bend that right knee and take a big step forward. So right foot steps in between the hands. Your left foot, it doesn't have to do anything. That heel's gonna stay straight up. Inhale up into a high lunge or a crescent warrior for me. Shoulders down, arms are reaching up high. You should feel some good juicy stretches going on in the front of that left hip. Good, think of kind of tucking your pelvis forward. We inhale, exhale, lower those hands down to the floor. We're gonna kick that right leg back up where it came from, single leg dog. Now flex your foot, bend the knee, and I want you to press your right foot toward the left side of the room. Good, but try to keep pressing evenly into your hands. This is scorpion. Good, so we're opening up that hip, lengthening out the hamstrings on that straight leg. You're breathing still. You're a little uncomfortable, but you're okay, I promise. Good, go ahead, straighten out that leg. And as you lower that right leg down, I want you to cross it over the left. So your ankles are kind of connected here. And I want you to just really drive that left heel down. So you're gonna get even more of a stretch in your left calf here. Perfect. Relax your head, you're looking toward the back of the room. Good, go ahead, uncross that. Meet me back in that downward dog. Shake out anything that needs to be shaken. And we'll take the other side. So when you're ready, inhale that left leg up. Single leg dog, square off the hips. Good, lengthen through the toes. Now bend that knee. Big step forward. Left foot comes between the hands. Toes and knee is forward. Good, come on up. High lunge or crescent lunge. That left knee is tracking toward the center of your foot. Arms are reaching up high. Hips are tucking forward. If you want to feel more of a stretch in the front of this right leg, engage your glutes. So squeeze your booty. You should feel kind of the top of that quad, your hip flexors just light up. Good. You're breathing. You're doing great. Sink in a little bit deeper. We inhale. Exhale those hands right back down. And left leg kicks back up where it came from. Press evenly into those hands. Flex that foot, bend the knee, stack the hips. So now your left foot is pressing toward the right side of the room. Good, breathe. Stacking those hips. Press evenly into your hands. Maybe notice if that right hand is trying to take over. Good, go ahead, lengthen out that left leg. As we lower down, we're gonna cross at the ankles. So left over right. Now we're driving that right heel down, down, down toward the floor. Perfect. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Uncross it, pedal out those heels. Good, one last time. Let's drive both the heels down toward the floor. Tuck the chin a bit, biceps next to those ears. We inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, lower all the way down to the floor. Meet me back in that tabletop. From here, you can shift your weight back a little bit. I want you to flip your palms over. So the tops of your hands are on the floor. Your fingers are pointed toward your knees. And I want you to just shift your weight back a little bit so you feel a stretch kind of in the front of that wrist. Good, so we want to stretch, we want a little bit of discomfort, we don't want pain. If you've hit pain, you're leaning back too far, so just kind of scoot it forward a little bit. Perfect. And we're gonna flip that. So just as much as you can, I want you to rotate your hands. So your fingers are still facing you, but now your palms are down. So thumbs are out to the sides. And if this is enough of a stretch, just hold it here. If you want more, again, you're gonna shift the weight back and open up the inside of that forearm. Good, we sit at computers a lot. We type a lot, we text a lot, we drive a lot. And all of that kind of adds up in our wrists and our forearms. And the last thing that we need to add to our 2020 bingo card is carpal tunnel. So make sure you're stretching out your wrists, giving your hands some love. Good, carefully come on out of that. Rotate those hands back forward. And we'll just fall over to one side. Meet me in a seated position, please. Crisscross applesauce, just shaking out those wrists a little bit more. I want you to interlace your fingers right in front of you. And let's just take a little figure 8 here. So I know that pressure on your wrist, it adds up, it can be a lot. So we're just gonna shake that out quickly. And go ahead, reverse that. So you're gonna take that figure 8 back toward you. Or if you're already going back toward you, go away from you. Perfect, now shake that out like you're drying off your hands. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead. Extend those legs straight out in front of you for me. We're gonna sit up nice and tall in those sits bones. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down, lengthening up through the crown of your head. Take a nice deep inhale up high with me. As we exhale, we take our final twist of the day. Right hand reaches toward the outside of the left leg. Perfect, and we're gonna twist, look over that left shoulder toward the back of the room. Try to keep your toes straight ahead, though. Sometimes they try to twist with us. Good, sitting up tall, tall, tall. Inhale, reach it back up to the center. Exhale, twist the other way. So left hand is reaching toward the outside of the right leg, and we're looking over that right shoulder. Perfect. And carefully unwind. From here, I want you to take that right foot, pull it in toward the inside of your left thigh. So big bend in that right knee. We're kind of going to press that right knee down toward the floor. Left toes are straight up. If this is cool and this is enough of a stretch for you, hold it here. A little bit farther, you're going to inhale up with me. Exhale, reach out toward that left foot. Try to keep your back nice and long here. The longer we can get the back, the more length we're actually going to get in the hamstrings. So we're still pushing that right knee down, keeping that awareness in both legs. So here we get right hip and left hamstrings. Good. Inhale. Exhale, fold into it just a tiny bit deeper if you can. And let's carefully release, roll that up, and we'll switch sides. So go ahead, extend your right leg out, pull that left foot in just as much as you can. Thinking of pressing that left knee down, opening up the hips, check in, your right toes are straight up. And again, you're cool here. If you want to dig in a little deeper with me, we'll inhale up and we'll exhale, reach out for that right foot. Bonus points if you can keep flexing that right foot. So pointing those toes straight up to the ceiling. Good, relax the shoulders, lengthen the back. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward just a tiny bit more. It doesn't have to be a lot. And carefully roll it up. Very nice. We're going to shake out both those legs. Bend your knees, hug behind your hamstrings, and carefully lower down onto your back. Hugging those knees into your chest. We'll just take a little rock side to side. Good. And to finish up today, we're going to take one of my favorite stretches. It's kind of complicated and there's a lot of levels to it. So if you need to stop at any point and just hold it where you are, I highly encourage you to do that. So I typically mirror you guys. I'm going to do the same side as you. So if you're looking at me, it'll look like I'm opposite of you, but it's mainly just so I don't mess it up. So what I want you to do is you're going to extend your left leg out and you're going to hug your right knee into your chest, nice and tight. So again, step one, you can stay right here if this feels good. Step two, you can send your right arm out to the side. Right away, you'll feel that chest open. And then we're going to roll over. So you're dropping that right knee over to your left side. So again, we're getting that low back involved. We're pressing the right shoulder down toward the floor. And again, if this is enough, you stay right here. If you want a teeny tiny bit more, roll over onto that left hip. You're going to bend that left knee, reach for your foot for a quad stretch. So you can reach for your foot, your toes, your pant leg, whatever you can grab onto. And then I want you to press that right shoulder back down to the floor. So there's a lot going on here. Definitely a pretzel stretch. So our shoulders, our chest, stay open toward the ceiling. We're pulling that bottom heel in toward the glutes. Good, so here you get glutes and hip, you get hip flexors, you get shoulder and chest, you get low back. If you're running out of time on a workout, this is one of the best stretches that you can do because you just hit so many different muscle groups. So if you're losing time on your cool down or your stretching time, come back here. All right, carefully release that. So we're gonna let go of that bottom leg, roll back onto your back, and we'll switch sides. So extend the right leg out, hug the left knee in. You can stay right here as long as you want. Good, a little bit more. We're gonna roll over onto the right side. So left knee crosses up and over, left arm extends out to the side. We're pressing that left shoulder blade down toward the floor, opening the chest. And if you wanna add on, we'll bend that right knee, reach for the foot. It does help if you roll over onto that right hip and then bend the knee. So if you can't do that from staying flat on the floor, which is very, very normal, just roll over onto that side, situate yourself, and then roll back. Good, but make sure that that bottom knee, it's not going back past your midline. So you want to try to keep it right underneath your hip. So we're stretching out the hip flexor and we're not just putting pressure on the knee, if that makes sense. Good, check in, square off your chest to the ceiling. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully release that bottom leg, roll back to the center, and let's just stretch out both those legs, finding our Shavasana, our corpse pose. If that's hard on your low back, I want you to keep those knees bent, palms are up toward the ceiling, eyes are closed. I want you to take one deep breath in, a little deeper, and a long breath out. Good, carefully, do me a favor, just roll over onto one side if you're ready. If you want to stay in that corpse pose for a little while, go right ahead. When you are ready though, go ahead, push yourself back up into a seated position. We're facing the front of the room. Eyes are still closed, we're sitting up tall. Good. Let's inhale those arms up high together. Palms find each other. We exhale the hands down to the heart center. Today, moving toward the rest of your year or just the rest of your morning, I want you to focus on what is right with you. What is right with you? The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste.